Hi, welcome to ReneMarie Stroke of Luck. I'm ReneMarie, and we're so blessed and honored to have this opportunity to have a spiritual medium, a really profound and really deep and very interesting spiritual medium who, of course, Judy Marlowe Rotway connected with. And I'm very interested in hearing her story and really just getting to know how she became a spiritual medium and how her life has evolved to this incredible, really necessary place that I believe that is so required in the world today with all the difficulties and all the negativity that's and the darkness that's out in the world. We need people that have the gift of bringing light to the world. So, and I just heard her say that her purpose in life, one of her purposes is to bring peace, and everyone knows that that's really one of my purposes, is to spread peace around the world, and I know that peace begins with ourselves. Before I get to that, though, I really want to welcome everybody to 2018 and share with you. 2017 was really a whirlwind for myself and for the universe and for the hurricanes and for the tornadoes. It was really a really hard year. But I've learned in my life that it's not so much what happens in life, it's what you do to conquer it and to really to find a way through it. And so this 2018 is about us revamping and re-energizing ourselves and really finding, setting our foundation in our TV program and really bring light to everybody and bring happiness and really make an impact in the stroke and aphasia world. So welcome to 2018. This is our first program in 2018, and we're really, really honored to have the opportunity to welcome Dawn Joly to, is that how you say your name?
Yep.
Okay, Dawn Joly to our program. And of course, we have our my co-host and our dear foundation board member and my everything, Judy Marlowe. But thank you, Judy, for being here. And Dawn, it is an absolute pleasure to have met you.
I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
And we're really grateful that you took the time out of your busy, very, very, very busy schedule to come and share a little bit of information and really really bring light to people about what it is to be a spiritual medium and how I said before, how really important in these days.
Our society now is very what we call ugly. And I would say God don't like ugly. You know, we're here as peacemakers. You, myself, you know, we're called light workers, healers too.
Right.
You know, and we're just here to give them a little bit of to know that there's good in the world.
Yeah.
You know, obviously there's always somebody that's not going to get it.
Yeah.
And we have that, and unfortunately we just, you know, either you do or you don't.
Yeah.
So, but my philosophy is, you know, try to love one another, you know, try to get through what you need to.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but I try to make it positive.
Did something like let's go back to the beginning a little bit, and then we'll move forward into what you're doing now and everything. But how did you become aware that you were a psychic medium?
When I was 10. Well, I live on Long Island here in Smithtown, and my dad we had 3 acres. My dad had horses. So I used to cut through, you know, to the trails in the back to come home.
Right.
So, and it was almost like going to get ready to thunder and lightning, so I was kind of like walking really quickly. And I actually seen somebody that, you know, I'd do a double take. I'm like, we're in the middle of the woods here on the trail.
Right.
So,
right.
and I'm 10 years old, and I'm like, who could be here? And I just like froze. And it was a woman, you know, and she was just dressed like normal, you know, and I got scared. She's like, come here. And I'm like, okay. And she just took my hand. She said, God sent me to you that as you get older, and she's just making the little things in my hand, you know. It was comfort. I couldn't move, but after that I wasn't scared.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And said that I would know things as my life would you know, progress. And not to be afraid. God loved me, and God had a journey for me.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
and she says, hurry home because, you know, it's gonna rain.
Wow.
And it did. Once I walked in the door, you know, it poured.
Wow. Did you
But I
discuss it
turned
with your
around.
mother?
I did. But I, you know, after I was running, I turned around. She was already gone.
Wow.
So, and I told my mother knew that I knew things, and, you know, late 70s, you know, people think of psychics with turbans and crystal balls.
Yes.
So,
yes.
but there's anything that I said would actually come true, you know, wherever I was and stuff. So, you know, it was more in the family, but as I started growing older, it started to develop. It kind of like took me over.
Yeah. I believe back in the 70s, Dionne Warwick was
Yes.
into mediumship.
Yeah,
and
but that was
stuff.
more at the end of the 70s, early 80s.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
but, you know, that at that time, you know, I'm 10 years old. You know, I remember that so like yesterday, and I tell that story. It's crazy. You know, I was walking in the woods, so that's my, you know, it's crazy to say. But I remember that night I went to sleep and I had nightmares. And those little times we had the trolls, remember the little fuzzy wuzzies?
Yes, yes.
And I had them on the horses, and I was in the stables, a corral, and they were going after me. And I remember getting hit with an arrow, and I fell out of bed. And I would never forget that. But after that, things started to shift for me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, because as we were saying before, I had a communication with God and an out-of-body experience.
Absolutely.
But well, people always call me and say, "Could you ask God to do me a favor?" And I'm like, first of all, you could talk to God yourself.
Anytime. That's right. God don't judge.
Yeah. And second of all, and this you'll understand this is, you know, because we have an intimate relationship with God and the angels and everybody on the other side, it doesn't make our life any easier.
I always tell everybody my life's not my own and my mind is not my own. That means when I stop, you know, talking, that means I have my guide and whoever is coming through.
Right.
So then the more closer they come to me, they actually come to me more out of the body, and then they start talking. You have to realize there's souls everywhere. You know, we're not here physical anymore. We're here spiritual.
Yeah, we're what does it say? We're spiritual beings living.
It's on my website. I can't even remember.
I know,
Elizabeth knows it,
I
but
know.
it's the truth. But you have to realize, just because we're not here, we do walk the earth. That means we revolve. That means we come in and out of light.
Right.
So, and I do. I've been doing this all my life. So the more that I have read and seen, they actually always tell me they're in the light. They'll give me a glimpse of what's going on. So I've been telling everybody this year, this is a real shift for me in my gifts. So now I can get more of a divine connection now too as well, which are angels, the saints, archangels, no matter what religion you are, they're on that side.
Right.
So it's always with divine guidance. You have your souls, you know, revolving, and people always ask us, how do souls really get future references? Well, that's from high authorities. That means your saints, your angels, your archangels, the Blessed Mother, Christ on that side, and God, the Almighty Creator.
Right. So, I mean, we probably know how, but how does someone who is just kind of thinking about it and really in a dark place and needs that assistance, how do they specifically ask for help? Like, what, I mean, because if I didn't know about it, I wouldn't know where to start. So how do they start?
Start as for what? As for being read or
No. Start as for connecting with the other side and really.
You have to let go of your baggage. That's the thing. A lot of people block themselves. And you know, to come to the course that I've read so many people, you have to relax and just let go.
Right.
Just let go and let that flow. Some people are very, you know, I always say before you become a medium, you have to be a psychic. We all have that gift.
What's the difference?
But you have to learn to trust. Mediums is where we hear and we see. Psychics is more as coming from what we call the crown chakra, which is the clear or cognizant. That means just knowing, going by that instinct. Don't know where the information's coming from, but I feel it, and I feel it very strongly. So, and everybody has that.
Right.
You have to learn to trust it.
Most people think it's a coincidence.
It's not.
Right, but it's not. It's not a coincidence.
I always say the dead can't hurt you, it's the living that are screwed up.
Very true.
That is so true.
And
That
I mean,
is
I
so
talk
true.
to God if I
Absolutely.
You can talk to God anyway. It doesn't
I
matter
do.
what religion you are. I always tell everybody we must believe something down on earth, because we have positive energy and we have negative energy.
Yes.
You know, but once we cross over, which we have our spirit guide that we're born with, and then we usually have family that crosses over into the veil.
Right.
So, and I always hear
What do you
that
mean
in the
crossing
light.
over? I know
Cross
what it
over
means.
into the
but
veil.
what-
That
yeah.
means we're out of the body. We're transitioning.
Right.
So, and I've had a few people that have actually had. It's a blessing. I know when people die, it's very like, no, it's morbid, but it's an afterlife. They're there.
Oh my God! When my father was in Hackensack University, because I live in New Jersey. He was in Hackensack University, but then God wanted him in St. Joseph's in Patterson. So the next time they took him to St. Joseph's in Patterson, and that's where he passed. But it was so reverent to be there at that moment, because he had ports in his arms because he was having dialysis
Yeah.
3 times a week. When after he passed, we came out of the room for a few minutes, and we went back in, and there wasn't a mark on his body. He was
That's a
pure.
divine intervention.
It was divine intervention.
He still wants to acknowledge himself as a very handsome man.
Yes. My father was a handsome man. He was a
says
handsome
he
man.
still is.
Yes.
That doesn't change. You have to
Yeah.
realize, and that's another thing, factor. When we cross over, we're still the same. We're not sick anymore.
No.
And they come in, their energy is still the same. So I always tell my clients to never feel that you're by yourself, regardless.
Right.
Because I call them my nosy bodies on that side. They do
Yeah.
watch us.
Yeah.
They do come in and out of the light. It's important.
You know, have you ever sat in a place and you saw a figure and you looked, saw it out of the corner
Well,
of
that's
your
energy.
eye?
That's always like that.
But then when you look, it's
It's not there, but it does move. You have to realize there's always somebody here before us, including our family. And Long Island is the most historic. We're all surrounded by water,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and there's always going to give you validation that we're around. So that's why I say, don't say, no. It's not a coincidence. I always tell my clients, it took one soul to rock and roll up there. So we acknowledge to say, hey, we're here. It's very different in the spirit world now.
Well, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like our parents or our friends who help us on earth and they pass on, people miss them, but I believe they can help us further from the other side because they can see what's going on.
That's why I call them my nosy bodies, because they do know what goes on. So they're like, oh, I said, close your door, but they do. They try to intervene. We do have, as we call divinity that intervenes with us. So I tell everybody, they're there.
Right.
So what you're feeling, what you're sensing, that is really what it's all about.
Right. And I think we should take the time, because a lot of us are so busy in the world and life is so busy.
Yeah.
Right. But it's really important to go into the silence a little bit and listen to them and
a
hear
little
them.
meditation or just a little quiet time. I tell everybody, if you want to unblock some of them, just sit there a little bit and just try to, I tell them to quiet their mind. My mind isn't.
Right.
I'm lucky if I could sleep for 4 hours. That's a good night.
Yeah. I have a lot of psychic medium friends in New Jersey.
It's not easy.
Yeah, and they say they're up all night. All night.
I get 3 or 4. If I'm cranky, they know you didn't sleep well. And of course, the moons affects us as mediums too as well. So, I rarely go out in public by myself. So it's either...
You rarely go out in public? Yeah.
I do not go out in public by myself unless I'm accommodated with my staff, my family.
Yeah.
I won't grab anybody unless it's a life and death situation.
Right,
But your life isn't your own, That's
Right.
the thing on that,
Right. Well, when in my book I share this, that, I promise God I will always work for Him. No matter how hard it is. No matter how hard it is.
I think you do it about 24 hours a day.
Thank you.
But we were chosen. I tell my clients, I never chose this. They chose it for me.
Yeah.
And I tell my psychics that are starting to be developed in some of their other gifts that are opening up. Usually once the psychic ability is, and if you start reading or just started to meditate, you're kind of stimulating all the senses.
Right.
So, but once the hearing is on, in the sight, that's it. I sage every day, I meditate every day, I clear all my points out of my body, which we call chakras. Is important.
Yeah.
Because we're dealing with it. We work with energy, so we work about sometimes maybe 60 hours a week,
So share with our audience what chakras are.
Chakras are points to the body, from the root, from the back, all the way to the head, and they're all the points of communication. So they're beautiful books. I always acknowledge Doreen Virtue. She's a psychic that deals with angelic realm. And she's got beautiful books on that, clearing up the chakras, your divine guidance with God. So I always, some people think she's a little fruity, but I think she's gorgeous the way she delivers, her statements and stuff. So if you want to connect with that, I always revolve on that.
I always think that, I'm going to speak for myself, that I'm a little off. Like when people look at me, they think I'm a little off. But that's because I have
Join the crowd. You notice I connected you outside of 10 seconds.
I don't think you're off at all.
It's because we carry higher energy than your norm. That's the thing.
She's got high energy.
Exactly.
And the truth is that after my stroke, this is because share with me if this is true about you, and I'm sure it is, that I have the ability to take myself out of my body.
Right, and don't you love that?
Yeah.
I do that when I'm kind of like, done a little depleted, I get a little Reiki done, so I have great Reiki
Oh, I was
masters
gonna
here.
bring that up. How did
So-
you start with that?
So I met some people in Massapequa, which was the Long Island Reiki connection. So if you go on my website, you can see the Long Island Healing Arts, and they're the only ones that work on me. When they work on me, they see Christ, they see, St. Peter, it's like, because they're clearing all me out. So, but it's just to attune me, because I use energy every day, so sometimes I get a little depleted too, so I kind of like re-energize myself.
Wow,
So-
wow. What I was gonna say was, I was living out of my body most of the time.
That's what meditation is.
I
Don't
was-
you love that? You just float.
I
I'm
was-
interrupt you, but I get it. I get it.
But I had to have a mentor of mine help me to put my feet on the ground so I can do earthbound work, because people didn't understand me. I was saying like, let's do this, let's do that, and I could see 3 or 4 years ahead to what was going to transpire, and they would be like, no, you're crazy, and I'm like,
So
no.
It's called remote viewing. See,
Yeah.
that's what I have.
The
And I
same
have it black
idea
and white. That means back
with-
and forth. So
Yes.
you're not crazy.
The
I
same
know.
idea. When you went to talk to Tommy about the,
Oh, the
and Janine
telethon.
and Vicky,
Yeah,
about the telethon, meanwhile Bobby's talking about a TV show in another room.
Yeah, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's totally
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So, so you were 10, and I mean,
After that, my life went crazy.
there's some young children out there, or maybe a parent that has a young child. What do they do
My
for them?
thing is, I've been saying this a lot. Every family has a psychic, one more stronger than the other.
Yeah.
And it's the more you get into it, you feel it. I have a lot of children that come to me too with their parents, they see things. I always say the children are very much in the veil from birth to 13. So they feel it, they sense it, they know it. Some get scared, some shut it off, some like it. It depends on the individual.
Yeah.
And I tell them you need to pray, you need to always be grounded. It took me a long time, it's more like you're always up on the hype, because
Yeah.
we read every day, and then when we try to ground ourselves after, but it never happens because you're just constantly. But prayer is the most important thing.
I know.
Prayer, and I smudge all the time, before, during, and after, no matter where I am.
Prayer, and what do you do?
I do prayer, meditation, and I
Okay.
do smudging,
What's smudging?
which is sage. I
smudging.
usually get it on the
Oh,
island here, the Shinnecock,
yeah.
so because it's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
blessed. Because I do paranormal work too as well.
Yes.
So
What is that?
that is where I go into a house after the paranormal group investigators. They do all the things, and I either say nay or say. So, and it depends on each kind of clearing. Some's a little heavier than others. The energy's different, and they come in, they set up, they get all, their little facts together, and we kind of collaborate of what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, and they try to kind of match it up with mine.
Wow.
So to see if there is activity.
Yeah, I saw on your promo that you talk about the Ghost Whisperers and the Medium.
Yes.
Those shows, I
Yes.
used to love
Yes.
those shows, and I loved what's the one with Rona Downey Jr.
Oh, yes. Something
So
about
they're gonna
angels.
Touched
Touched by an Angel.
Touched by an Angel.
Touched by
I'm an
Angels.
Angel's Touch Incorporated.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I always
what's
say
the name of
divine.
it? What's the name of it?
My corporation is an Angel's Touch.
Wow, an Angel's Touch.
Yeah, we've been here forever.
That's a beautiful name.
And you could actually, my website is at dawnjoly.com. So
Say it again. Say it slower.
dawnjoly.com.
dawnjoly.com. I'll scroll it across the bottom of
I love
the
to hear
video
from
when I
everybody.
post it. We post it.
We're
Yeah.
all here to learn. Because there's a lot of also flack when you get into this industry. Also, it's like being a haircut. Everybody's like a little, little vindictive.
Yes.
We're here as healers, so I tell everybody, either you're in or you're out. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because it's hard, We're here to gather, and there are other psychics here, that pretend they're mediums. I always say it's in the water.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and I tell everybody, it's truth be known, if you go by referrals.
Right.
That's the most important
Yeah,
thing. Anybody
yeah.
tells you they're going to cleanse you, walk right out. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
And the truth is that, once again, you know if you connect with somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the most important thing, because there may be a ton of healers out there, and there may be a ton of angels out there, and
But
spiritual
every
workers.
advisor is for somebody.
Right.
It could be not for one, it could be for the other.
Right,
you
right,
know,
right.
so.
So you have a radio program? Tell us a little bit
Yes,
about
here
that.
I'm on 103.9 LA News Radio, right here on the island. on Monday nights from 8 to 10. So
Wow.
we stream live from Facebook, so we're worldwide. So I have a ball on it.
Oh my God. So what do you do there? Like what?
We take our
what's going on?
telephone calls, and then we take internet calls too.
Wow. Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
we have a 2-hour show, but by the time we get in there, the phone's jammed.
I know.
So
I know.
and we have such a great time. I also have my new co-host Lynn von Progranten. So she's a psychic also. She sits with me,
Wow.
and we collaborate. We
What
make
is
it
her
more.
name?
Her name is I can't even, Lynn von Progranten.
Oh.
Yes, she's James von Prog's sister.
Oh, okay.
So, yes.
I knew it sounded familiar. I'm like, I know
And
that
we
name.
have such a great time. She's my new co-host of this year, and we're just bringing so many things to the table.
No, she's a spiritual medium as well.
Yes, she is.
Wow,
She's
I didn't know that.
wonderful, and we have such a good rapport sitting there, and we have a lot of laughs, and we're here for the people.
Yeah.
And it's like by the time we're usually in an hour before the air, and the phones are always jammed from
Yeah.
before until we leave. It's like, and then we're reading on the internet as well.
Right,
so
right,
we're trying
right.
to give everybody, a little
Yeah,
piece.
a
But
little
we have a
bit.
lot of fun because
Yeah.
we kind of like put everything out there, even if the camera falls down or the audio goes out, because we have so much energy together,
Yeah.
and we're always having audio problems because
Yes.
of that high energy.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but we laugh about it because it's like we're not perfect.
No,
So
and that's
what I love about that.
And then actually, because my stroke, I'm a little bit weak on my right side, and people look at me and go, "What's wrong with her?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm perfect."
That's right.
We're all perfect.
Perfect.
We all have our
It's-
weaknesses. We all have our strengths.
Everybody has something.
Yeah, yeah, and it really doesn't matter. And when something breaks in my house, I don't throw it out because it doesn't need to be perfect.
Well, I gotcha. No, nobody's perfect. Nobody
Yeah.
is.
So on this show, like, what did people ask mainly?
Mostly about their loved ones, health and wealth. Then you get the young ones because we have all walks of life. They want to know about their love life. It depends. It depends who calls. I mean, I read celebrities and law enforcement. Anybody of the walks of life.
Wow.
So they want to sit with me. And I
Very
always tell everybody
interesting.
with an open mind too is an open heart,
Yes.
and that's very important.
Yes.
But we have beautiful clientele and beautiful radio listeners. Like I said, the world has been so crazy, and everybody's going through more of the aftermaths than anything. So we can give them a little piece, even if it's something that they gravitate to, and they'll take that with them. So,
How do you think we could help? I know you just touched on this a little bit, but it really is a hard time out there.
it's a very
And
hard time.
I used to see like, boundaries with everybody. But now, all those
No boundaries.
there's no boundaries
You
anymore.
have to realize the world is shifting, and I've been telling that for a long time now, and even in my predictions, we still have more to come. The earth the slates are still shifting. That affects us here physically, emotionally, and again, we're here as healers to bring in a little piece of peace.
That's why
So it's
that's why at
important.
this time, that's why I said at the beginning of the show, like, he's been preparing us for this time
Absolutely.
because it's so important.
It's so important, and it's so important to find something that's good.
Yeah.
Instead of everything, corrupted, from online. You can't say what you want to say anymore. Everything is, violent. I don't watch news because I have news in my
Me
own
neither.
head. So
Me neither.
I write
That's
all my
true.
premonitions down, and I'm halfway through with my book, so that's going
What's
to
your
be.
book? What's your book
It's
going to be
called
called?
Coffee with Elvis.
Coffee. Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Okay. So tell us.
I am very
Coffee
connected to
with
Elvis
Elvis.
Presley. So he comes to me all the time. I hear him, I see him. I go down to Graceland, and I have a whole Elvis family around the world.
Wow.
So they know me as the spiritual medium and Sirius Satellite. I know all the oldies and a
You
lot
just
of
added
his.
2 more.
And I have a lot of his old cronies still in my clients.
Wow.
Yes, so we just lost Susan Lee, but she was in Paradise Hawaiian Style. She just passed.
Oh my gosh.
So she was such a lovely lady from England. She was actually Sharon Tate's girlfriend back into
Oh, I
the
didn't know
70s.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
When she married Roman Polanski, and she got murdered by the
I know.
what's that, the Charlie Manson.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was in her book too as well. She was like everything. Hello, darling.
Yes,
She was just
yes.
a very good soul, and she went through a very bad time, and as for cancer, and she didn't make it this year, so we lost her.
Wow.
So, but he's
Red
always
West?
connecting to me. When I was out there, I went to Red West Cemetery, so, you know, and I never got to meet him, but the other George Klein, I met Lisa Marie Presley. She's the spitting image of her dad.
Yes.
So
yes.
I met her up here with
Andrew
GBC.
met
So
George
and
Klein.
when I told her something, and she was like, "Are you an effing medium?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am," because I don't, you know.
Yeah.
This was the president. She grabbed my hand. She's like, "I need to talk to you." So, but you know, it was really nice. So I always say Elvis has connected me everywhere, and I do. I have coffee with Elvis every morning. I listen
That
to
is
the radio
awesome.
because I'm always have radio in my house, so at least I could have the noise to go down a little bit.
Right.
When I go to bed, I have either TV on or the radio to
take
cut
the
it,
edge
cut it off.
because I
Yeah.
get touched, I get poked, you know, because my house is up on the hill, right across from the church.
Yeah.
So, but we have all walks of life. I'm on Indian territory as well. You know, I see John Smith all the time walking through the backyard from Smithtown. So, you know, these are the things I always see.
Wow.
So,
Wow. And what do you think about the Indian reservations? Is that
I
where-
love it. I'm so connected to them. And, you know, we used to take pictures in the back. You could see the formation, you know, from the souls of past. And we had even a horse on there as a spirit, too. It's amazing. They watch us all the time. So even the fires that we used to do with the fire pit, you can actually, because I used to throw sage in there, too, as well. You know, and my property is very, very active. So, and you can actually see the image of the Indians in the flames. It was so beautiful. So, and
Wow.
Elizabeth is always, you know, poking too. She knows there's a lot going
We're
on.
going to have Elizabeth on
Yes,
our
we're gonna do
show.
that.
We're going
That'd
to
be
do this
great.
again. We're going to
Yes.
do this again, and she's going to be on our show.
We've got a lot underneath our belts. It's like we could go from any area, but it's like we love what we do.
Well, it's kind of almost like the medium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, they did their work when she was...
I'm what we call a psychic medium. That's me. I'm true, full blown. And, you know, and I tell everybody, we all have that ability. Psychic. Before you become a medium, you have to be a psychic. That's how it works. There's no
Right.
other way. It's
Right.
buts.
Right.
So.
And it really is important to trust in yourself in life.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't trust in yourself, I used to, you know, people used to say to me, if you have a handful of people in your life who you could really trust,
That's
That's
You're
how I
very
like it.
important.
you're really lucky. And I mean, I'm blessed because I have more than a handful. However, I know what they're talking about because, you know, you have to trust yourself. You have to trust your own instincts. Because if you don't trust them, you're not living your path. You're not going down the journey.
I always listen more to this side than they do here. It
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, bothers my husband and my family. You know, who are you talking to now? You know, and
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just be blurting it out. But I do. I have to say, because I read every single day, and I love my job every
What do you
single day.
read? What do you read? Tell us what you read.
I read. I have clientele that sit and with me, and I do readings. I
Oh,
always
you,
record them.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I thought you.
Oh no, you read.
I thought you read.
We use
You
the word
read-
readings.
Yeah, I know. So you have readings every day.
Every single day,
And
I love it.
do you have to shut off or prepare or turn, or as soon
You
as
can't
they
shut it
walk in?
off. You can't
Yeah,
shut
but
it off.
what I'm saying is if somebody's coming in, do you start reading them before
Yeah,
they get
once
there?
they sit down, it's like there's somebody there
Yeah.
sitting there anyway.
Yeah, I
So-
actually went to a woman that was very high on the arc on a silver medium.
Oh, I love that.
She's
Oh, my
she's
God, I love
dynamic. She's dynamic, and I went to her because I wanted to go. I'm at the level anyway, but I wanted to go to the next level, and I wanted to be hypnotized to make sure that all my chakras, everything was cleared and all that kind
You
of
can
stuff.
clear them yourself.
Yeah, but I wanted confirmation of that because I don't know how you are, but you know, when you're in our world, you need to have a network of people around you to make sure that you're still true to yourself and you're not like, you know, crazy.
No, I pray, I smudge, so it's like, you know, when I go in my office, I smudge.
Yeah.
It's important because I
Yeah.
work with energy every day.
Yeah, they're bringing their energy
And they're
into
bringing
your
their
house.
energy, or if I go somewhere, you know, like for cleansings or benefits, you know, there's always somebody has somebody else.
Yes.
So if I sit in here, that's why I said, you know, I don't sit, I gotta walk, because
Yeah.
I'm like this one now.
She's probably flipping out now.
I am, because my foot is going
You can't leave.
What I was gonna say before was, this woman, she, before I went to her for the hypnosis, she had started working on me. And the reason I know is because on my phone, my email turned into her name.
Also, that was real divine presence telling you were in the right spot.
Yes, yes. So when I went to her the next, and I knew, like, I didn't get afraid because I knew, like, so when I went to her, she's like, yes, I brought all the angels around you, and I brought all this. I said, thank you. Like, I knew.
Like, there was validation.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
important. I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I would say your angels they will never tell you you're wrong.
Yeah,
You know, they will always give you that, like, that connection, like, I'm here.
yeah.
People are like, oh, I'm trying to look and I don't see it. Just relax. It'll come.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's-
if you're expecting like that, you know, you'll have a hard time with it. I say you just gotta let loose.
Yeah,
That's
and
it.
it's I think it's more in the whispers than it is in the present, like the loud things that people are, people are always waiting for that to happen, and you just have to
Well,
kind of.
I call it paranormal activity. If someone passes, they will really give you justification that they're around. They do electronics. They will take the lights and just go crazy. I had a client last month. They lost their granddaughter at 6 weeks, and right around Christmas, and all the lights went out and not the Christmas tree. So I said, that's real validation. You have to realize that. You know,
That's
when we're out of the body, we are pure energy. That means if someone's feeling something cold in front of them, that's real spirit.
Right.
Because they're out of the body on that
Right,
part.
right.
But they intertwine, as I was saying, like the radio, because our vibrations are very high, and we're bringing other people in. And usually when people from the other side want to validate, they will do that. So it's very strong.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
It is.
That's incredible.
It's beautiful. It really is. They've never left. I tell everybody. They're always going to be around.
Yeah.
They all wait for all of us to come over, and then we're out again. I always tell everybody, we've always been here, before. I've been here many lifetimes.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and
You believe in that?
Yes, I do, because I did a past life regression and actually see myself getting burnt as a witch in the last lifetime.
Wow.
And then I was in my second lifetime, but my husband is an Indian. That's why I'm so connected to him.
Wow.
So we've all been here before.
So how is it for your husband? Tell
I
us a
drive
little
him
bit.
crazy.
Tell us a little bit about your husband and how it is.
It's like the Samantha and the Darren.
Oh,
But he
the
supports
bewitched.
me, yes. Yeah, but he supports me tremendously. My children do. My son has the ability, and
Wow.
he's had it for a long time. He tells me, but I just hear everybody's thoughts. And he goes,
Yeah.
and I just laugh. He says, but I'm not doing it. My daughter, she doesn't want any part of it, but she's associated with it.
But she probably has it.
She does. She
So
just
when you
doesn't want
met
to
your husband, you were getting all these vibes from him?
all those vibes, and he just couldn't figure it out. He thought I was a little bit peculiar to begin with. So
I said that
you have to
before.
realize, from when I was from 13 to actually 24, that was a real hard time in my life, because it's more like you couldn't talk to really anybody.
You couldn't
Except
talk
for
to him about what
family.
was happening
Yeah,
to you.
so, and it was just more as I started, what, 15, 16-year-old would love to sit in the cemetery, and I took a course in high school. They had their first college course in death. I got an A, because I was so intrigued by it.
Yeah.
What do you
And-
mean, a course in death?
A course in death, where we were sitting around doing history on some of the tombstones,
Oh, I see.
what is really death, and I gravitated to it,
Yeah.
And my teacher knew. She goes, "You got something, Gallant." She used to call me Gallant.
Why?
She could never pronounce my whole name. It was Galante at that time. She goes, all right. She goes, "You got something. I just can't figure it out." I'm like, "Oh God, so that obvious,
Wow.
But it was difficult, because it's like I feel like I was always the lone wolf, so to speak.
Yeah. I did too. I did too. There's been times that I heard God say to me, "Remember this moment, because it's going to be really important in your movie, in your life." Because God wants me to have this movie made about my life to give people hope.
You're here to
A little-
teach.
yeah,
So you're here
yeah.
as
You've
an
done
education part.
amazing things from
Look how far
the...
you've come.
Thank you. I really remember. It's to be sitting here today. Is really a gift. It really is a gift for all of us. For all of us.
It is a gift. God could take it away. That's why I tell
In
everybody.
one split second.
That's it.
In
That's
one
how it
split
works.
second.
And that's why, give. This is what we're here to.
Yeah. Give, because give as if though you want. It's your last
That's
moment
it.
in
That's
life.
right. That's
So-
right. So I always tell you, do a good thing.
Yeah.
If you some people are coming out of very negative cycles too. I noticed too. told my clients, I said, it's more of that shift. That means it's bringing you to a higher vibration.
So you spoke about the new shift now in the world. Talk about that a little bit more, because
We can go
you
into
know,
any area. We've been on that shift for the past 10 years. That
A
means
friend of
also,
mine-
I don't mean to cut you off
No,
here.
it's
It
okay.
means, we talk about earth, the plates are starting, the old ones are starting to really finally come off, and the new ones are. It affects us emotionally.
Yeah,
You have to realize
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. A friend of mine told me that it now shifted, and this has nothing to do with the sexual abuse cases and stuff like that. But she said now is the time for females to really empower them.
Exactly.
Do you agree?
Yeah, well, it's the shift. We're becoming more broad, we're becoming more of a voice.
Yeah.
Instead of always being what we call a man's world.
But
I
it's
always
just,
believe that whatever you wanted to achieve, you could achieve if you put your mind to it.
Yeah,
Whether
but
you
there's
were a
still
man
that
or a woman,
point, though.
if you had a positive attitude, you just have to work hard towards your goal. And if I've had people say, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that," and I'd say,
Yeah.
"Okay, watch."
hey. But we're so lucky in America because we have the ability.
We have
But when I
opportunities.
hear of other countries of how the women are
I know, and
treated,
this makes me sick. So
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
that's why my staff knows I don't really look at
Yeah.
the news,
Yeah.
because, I get my premonitions and stuff. So
premonitions about what's going to
Yeah,
happen
what we call the
to.
remote viewing. That means
Yeah.
I can see backwards
Yeah.
and frontwards. And
Yeah.
there are some things that I don't like to see, but I
Yeah.
don't have a choice.
Yeah, but being who we are, we're universal. We're not like just here and now. We touch the
Yeah,
world.
but some of them just don't get it. It's and the ones that
You're
don't
right
get it are
about
very
that.
violent and very ignorant.
Yeah.
And I always say, do good, you get good. When you're ignorant and you're being very malicious, there's a place for you. For
I
later.
actually just said to somebody, because they said to me, you really have to get a backbone. You're too kind. And I don't say anything when that particular
I think I've heard that
happens.
before many times.
Yeah. So what I went back and said at another point is, I just want to share with you something. Being kind is harder than being negative and demanding.
Yeah, but you don't expect it to, I say you have to earn respect, give respect, but if that person is very negative and you feel very toxic, and you can't get out of that situation, is
You
either
gotta-
move on or just like.
Get
Yeah,
the toxic
yeah,
people
yeah.
out of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to share with people, because I used to not say anything. I used to just work and do whatever I got to do. But now it's important that I share with people, what I'm thinking.
Absolutely, it's important.
I've been hearing that a lot about sharing about your feelings, and how you're feeling about things. And, so do you usually, you share how you feel all the time with people? Is there anybody?
It depends, because we have great people and then we have not so great people. That's, if, like I said, I will give them respect 100%, but if they're not gonna give it to me and start giving me an attitude, we just like, see you
Right.
later.
Yeah.
You can
Wow.
only do so much, because we work with so many people.
Wow,
You
wow.
know?
So your radio so we spoke about your how you found yourself, and we spoke about your radio program, and so what else would you like to, is there something else you'd like to share with our audience?
Well,
While we have this platform?
We have some things in the works. We're gonna be doing a tour or two as well, so in the next couple of weeks, that's gonna be released, so where we're gonna be going and stuff.
A
So,
tour,
yes, a
you're
tour,
gonna go
yeah.
around, you're gonna.
Yeah, I do my
Oh.
little tours and stuff. It's been a while, so we're working, with some other higher influences, and
Yeah.
we're gonna start putting things down a little
We
bit.
wish you
so-
good luck with that.
So I love
Yes,
it.
yes.
I love it. I'm the type where I do never say no. That's
Yeah,
why we
yeah.
work so much.
Yeah.
But I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
But it's not work when you're doing what
No,
you're
when you
meant to do,
enjoy
and
it.
you enjoy
I
it.
go to work and I love what I do. I'm only 5 minutes from my home, and that's the universe bringing it to me. So you couldn't ask for anything
What do you
better.
mean it's only 5 minutes
It's
from
only
your home?
5. My
Your
office is only 5 minutes from my home.
Wow.
So we're very corporate, when you come in. But when you come into my side of the office, it's a great energy, and it's just a good space. So.
Wow, that's incredible. How you're using your gifts, and it's really, I commend you on leaning towards it, because some people would hide from it.
Yes. No, it was consuming me. So it's like, well, then you want me to do up there, God, then show me.
Yeah,
And he did.
Wow.
So I used to be right out of my kitchen, you know, I used to be what we call a little kitchen witch sit there, you know, but it started getting crazy. And it was like, now I need to make a shift. And sure enough, I'm residing in the Smithtown office. Well, this is my 16th year. 16 years. I've been in the public for 20.
Wow.
And the past 5 is like, we're just like going mad crazy. I just
Wow.
love it.
Well, it's because people need it now more than ever.
They do, you know, and it's important. I always say there's always somebody on the other side to talk to. Regardless, there's
absolutely.
always somebody. They'll always validate something.
Yes.
So, but that's how I work.
So when is your book coming out?
Well, we're halfway through it, so we're going to actually try to be out at the end of 2019. So, and again, it's called Coffee with Elvis.
And I
So it's how I
definitely want an
started,
autographed
and- Yeah,
copy.
absolutely. It's how I started. So I'm actually, you know, which was pretty fun because we're going to the mid-70s. So, and how I connect, because music is a connection too, even with the celebrities that have passed and you know, singer-songwriters, and I always connect with them all the time. So, you know, there'll be things that I talk about, you know, from that time with music to the future. Even my clients, I have a few chapters on that, special clients that have come
Wow.
through, and you know, the chapter of, you know, the King of Rock and Roll. So.
Wow. That's incredible that you have the you know, he chose you.
Yes,
He
well,
chose you.
And
this
I'm
was
looking
like,
forward
yes,
to
this was
reading
like
it.
almost 20-something years ago. Who dreams of Elvis Presley?
How long has he been passed for? Because I specifically
40 years, I think, right? Yes, 40 years.
How old would he be if he was alive?
83.
83.
Wow.
83. Yeah,
Wow.
his birthday was just January 9th?
8.
8th? Who's the
Yeah.
9th? I know who the 9th is, okay.
You'll find. They'll let you know. They'll let you know. But that's
I got
pretty
a lot of
incredible.
good birthdays in January.
So when he passed, how long was it until you connected with him?
Not until I was 24.
Wow.
Apart, so.
Wow.
Yeah, so I, you know, and I always had a connection. I mean, I liked Elvis growing up, but I wasn't, you know, like, connection, like, big, you know. And I remember sitting on my mom's couch when he did the Hawaiian.
I did too. And you remember?
And I just saw my mom, I said, Mom, she remembers the words I said, she goes, he's not gonna live long.
Wow.
And I told her that.
my God.
Do you remember this? I remember watching that.
Satellite from Hawaii,
Yeah.
it was like that. I
But
remember
that was when he was at the end,
That's the
Yeah,
end of his
and
he
lifetime.
was gaining weight.
and he was gaining weight, and he was sitting on a stool, and he was singing, and he forgot the words. And I
Yeah.
said,
That's when it was happening.
Yeah.
And again, I was sitting on my mom's couch, and everybody started screaming that Elvis Presley died. I said, I told you.
Yeah.
You know, I was what, 12, 13 maybe?
yeah, but I remember saying to my family at that particular time, he could do anything he wants on the
He wants.
stage. He's got
Anything.
he's got the audience at his fingertips. He could do whatever he wants.
Absolutely. That's what he says to me. He could do whatever he wants. I used to come in and out. I loved it.
And he used to travel at night
He was
Yes.
a big night traveler. Big
because
night
people
traveler.
would bother him during
Right,
the
he
day.
couldn't go anywhere during the day.
Wow.
So I went this year. I finally went to Tupelo, and we went into
I haven't went to
the
Tupelo
little
yet.
home that he had, and you hear him.
Where's
like,
Tupelo?
Mississippi.
Mississippi. That's where he was born. So
Oh,
they
yes.
have their
In a little
have-
shack.
I went
Yes.
early in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Early in the morning, we just drove there, and my husband was with me. He goes, "Where's Elvis telling you?" I said, "Let's go to Tupelo." He wants me to go into that shack, and I heard his mother Gladys, that she always watches me. So I was having real conversation with them,
Right.
just standing there, and because it's like a little shoebox.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything is right there. And there was really nobody in front of me, behind me, except for the spirit. It was
Wow.
a wonderful connection. But I hear him all the time. I hear him when he laughs, at that very heavy chuckle, and he calls me Dawn. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, you know. I have conversations. So, you know, I'm going there for 16 years. So,
Right,
so
right.
it just becomes more and more.
So what do you think was the purpose for him having you go there?
Well, he wanted to know where his roots were.
Mm.
So, and I'm arguing with Spirit, telling me, you know, you're going to go there. I'm like, why am I going to go to Tennessee? I'm a
Yeah.
New Yorker. Well, he got me there. Whole planet sank.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and he always would
It's
deliberately,
definitely something to see.
deliberately maybe bump into all his old cronies that were at that time a little bit more, you know, even was it Diamond Joe Esposito,
Yeah.
Yes.
George Klein. So,
Yes.
and it was more of, okay, he got me stuck in here. So,
Right, right.
But he always did. So, and I keep coming back. We have a family from what we call around the world.
Yes, they
Wow.
go there every year.
Yeah, so I love it.
That's incredible. Well, it's
It's
it,
influenced a lot on me. It pushed me.
What changes did they make? They have something
They
new
have, they have a
there?
lot of tasks on that side, and he's actually like just not watching me, other people that was selected. So that's the conversations that I would get out of them. He's got more of a task. So I actually call him the Godfather. When people are sitting in my office, I have a big stand-up of Elvis, and we have a lot of memorabilia. They all see him. They're like, I seen something move right on that picture, because they know it's validation. So-
yeah. That's
So
incredible.
I have the channel John Lennon, Lucille Ball. He brings them all.
I
Anybody.
love
Just
Lucille Ball.
when BB King died, so
They're all
it's-
together and they
all
have
What
a-
does
together.
Lucille Ball say?
When I have a bad day, she tells me, I love it.
Lucille Ball.
She was
She
something.
was the best.
So it's just
She
the way
really
that they're
was.
brought in, and there's going to be a chapter 2 where I started connecting with Robin Gibb, one of the Bee Gees.
Yes.
So that's why I said, these are chapters where the music comes in and the connection comes in, because he had a lot to say to his brother, so.
Music is so important.
It's so
Music, that's
important,
why
because I don't watch TV, they come through
Yeah.
I didn't mean
That's
to cut you
okay.
off
No,
again.
it's okay. That's okay. No, I was going to say that's why my foundation was called The Language of Love, because music is a
Say
language
that,
of love.
that's what it's meant to be.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
I've learned that with music, I sing, and I could get them in that place that they're just in the glory. They don't have to think about real life.
Right,
They just have to
exactly.
enjoy the moments, and that's where I get to talk to them, from my
And
heart.
I went to a seminar, I think it was a library seminar, and there was something about music and memory. And I remember raising my hand and saying, I didn't know that music and memory was so connected, but what I
Absolutely.
did when my dad had a stroke was I played all the music that he liked.
Wow.
And I saw a
Music is
difference
good for the soul.
even when I went to the events in the evening where people would be singing to everybody there. You could see such an improvement in everybody.
Music is healing, it's healing
It's
medicine.
healing.
Well, when you go on your tour, I could be your singer.
Oh, absolutely.
I second that.
Yes, because I love, it puts me in this glorious place that I love to, just music is just reverent to me.
Music is medicine.
Yes,
It's good for the soul.
yes. So what else do you want to share with our audience?
They could keep tuning into my radio station
Yes.
at 103.9, and that's LA News Radio. And soon we'll be on 98.1 The Oldies, so we
Wow.
have something working on that. So we have a lot of great things. Just keep watching joly.com.
Yeah, you can watch, and of course I'll post that on my
Website.
the website, as well as the YouTube video that I upload, and to Facebook. We'll also put her, can they log on to the?
You could do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the information.
Is it on
So-
your business card?
Dawn, do you want to
No, that
mention
one is not.
what your fees are, or?
Well, our services are, when they make appointments, are all,
You tell them.
when secretaries take and give them all information,
Great.
so.
Good. Well, we are so happy that you
I
joined
am
us
so
today.
thrilled, I loved it.
Yes,
I
thank
loved
you
it.
so
The
much.
energy is beautiful here.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Really is.
Yeah, we try to, and it's all about preparation to make sure that energy is.
It's perfect, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
I just,
thank you.
it just glides,
It
it's
just
beautiful.
flows, and we weren't too crazy busy. But we hope that you'll come back, and we're going to have Elizabeth on the show. We're going to do one more show with Elizabeth, and we hope that well, I don't hope. I know we'll stay connected now,
Oh,
even though we're
absolutely.
not together.
Absolutely.
Spiritually.
I always say, when we connect, it's a bond.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's how it works.
And it's important for us all to stay connected and bring peace into the world, and that's the way we started this program. And it really is important to start with peace within yourself, because if you don't have peace within yourself, then you're not going to be able to project it to the rest of the world. So that is so important, and Dawn is really a gift to the universe, and we're so blessed to have had the connection with her. And of course, as I mentioned before, Judy made that connection, and we look forward to our telethon. We have some news flash for our telethon. Our telethon was scheduled to be at William Patterson College on May 6th, 2018, but I made a fairly hard business decision to postpone the William Patterson College production till the following May, so that we can have the opportunity to really showcase our entertainers and our sponsors, and for one full year. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have the telethon, because that's one of our mission statements, and we're going to do the telethon. So we have a lot more information coming to you. We're looking forward. We have a lot of stuff going on in 2018. We're looking forward to doing a live show from another set. Dawn is going to hook us up with someone, and hopefully we'll be able to do it from there. We're really looking to go live around the world and just really bring the information to strokes and aphasia. And the reason we do shows like this is because in my world, love is to recovery. When you suffer from something, you need to have love around you to be able to successfully recover. And sometimes you don't recover in the way that you want, but to be walking on this earth is really a gift, and we all need to really be blessed, feel blessed, and gratitude for that gift of life. And I'm sure that Dawn spoke about that throughout the show. But that's why we do shows like this with Dawn and with everyone, because we at this foundation and this show really doesn't care what religion you are. We just want to be love, and we want to spread love, and we want to share love, peace, hope, and love around the world. So thank you so much for joining us today. We are so blessed to have had this opportunity, and we want to spread love to your life, and we'd love to hear from you. So Facebook us or tweet us, or you can email us, and of course I'll post Dawn's information. Give us your information again, Dawn.
That's DawnJoly.com.
Spell it for us.
That's Dawn, Joly, JOLY.com.
.com. And we're going to go. Have a wonderful day. We're going to blow our kisses. Let's blow our kisses. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Have a wonderful day. Bye. Peace, hope, and love.
With both hands, I gotta feel the kick inside.